Hey, what's up, guys? Alejandro over here. I'm here in Torino and I'm in this beautiful park and enjoying the evening. So, what I'm going to talk about is mindsets, okay? So, there's a different type of mindsets that people, a lot of guys are trying to adapt into their brains. And what I'm going to share with you is that what's going on in my mind is the word of curiosity and the feeling of curiosity, okay? And I apply that to everything in my life. So, and it makes sense if you apply that in life, because like say if there's like a career path or a passion that I'm really going to consider, I'm extremely curious about what's going to happen, or like a job, or like say a new city or a new country, and especially in my traveling, I'm very, very curious. Okay, and so I'm going to tell you the truth is that whatever you plan, everybody talks about this thing, especially successful people, that they say come with the plan and then take action. But what I can tell you is, yes, it is great to have a plan, but don't really rely on it though, because there's always going to be roadblocks. Okay, so now how can you apply this to meeting women? What's really simple is that whenever I'm about to approach a woman or a women, is the fact that I really don't know what I'm going to say. I really don't know what I'm going to do, but I do know how I feel. And that's the most important thing, is that what I'm feeling is I'm very curious about that girl. Because why would I approach her if I'm not curious about her? Okay, where a lot of guys out there, they just they think about the heads down there instead of think about the heads up here. Okay, and so for me, I'm if that girl moves me and I'm very curious about her, then I would approach her and it would be very smooth. Okay, and it could be a little bit boring. It cannot be very, very like you would say something flashy. Okay, I'm just being myself and expressing myself of why am I curious about you. Even though I did tell girls that in the past, and like, why I'm so curious about you, and they're like, what? And that's the most important thing, is that feeling. I apply that feeling to them. The common thing that a lot of people are trying to adapt is like, trying to act like you're a rich guy and then trying to talk to girls. So then you don't give a shit, because in the end of the day, you're like, oh, well, she rejects me, then I'm fucking rich, And that's a bad mindset, because you're playing a role that's not really you, especially if you're not even rich, okay? Or like act like you're like a gigolo. I heard that numerous amount of times. Or act like you're just gonna get a blowjob by that girl. I admit there are times out there that when I look at a girl, I'm not trying to apply a mindset, but then I'm thinking in my mind, like, when I talk to you, it's gonna be great, and then we're gonna enjoy ourselves, and we're gonna just have sex at the same day, and it's gonna be great. But I'm not trying to force it. I'm just really, really just feeling. I take consideration what I'm feeling and I express it, okay? So, but I'm not here to tell you to and adopt the mindset that it's going to be way out of your character, and that's totally wrong. And I'm noticing that there's coaches out there, especially the ones I met in the past, that they will tell their students to go ahead and apply a mindset that's not even their character. In other words, fake it to make it. And for me, I tell everybody, and it works very well for them, not only for me, but even for them too, is that to really, really consider and apply the feeling of curiosity. Because once you feel curiosity, then it's gonna move you. It's gonna move you not just towards women, but in your daily lives, in traveling. So like for an example, let's talk about like approaching a girl, okay? So in the past, I used to go in the linear process of like have a plan and then really rely on it and go on the linear process. Is like if I say A, then she's gonna do B and C, okay? And that was a common thing that a lot of guys will rely on. And I admit there was a lot of girls that did B and C whenever I say A. But I wasn't really happy, and it didn't even move me. I wasn't even curious about, women when they did, B and C. What really moved me is when they don't do B and C, when they actually do like, you know, like RST or something like that, like not in order, okay? Like in other words, they did things, they responded in a not in a linear way. And so then what happens is that when they do that, then that's when the curiosity comes in, the feeling of curiosity. And then I'm like, whoa, wait a minute though. You said this to me, or you respond like this? And even those moments actually happens to be rejecting that moment. Not rejecting me, but rejecting that moment. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I don't feel like I'm chasing them. I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm extremely curious about you. Like, why would he say that to me? Or why did he do this? You know? And then from there, you would say anxiety is thrown out the way, playing the super role that's not even that your character, it's out of the way. It's just basically you and her and curiosity, that feeling of curiosity. Consider the feeling of curiosity and apply it to the heart. And when it moves you, then when you see a beautiful woman or beautiful women, then everything will come so fluently and poetically. Okay? Until then, I'll see you guys soon.